Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we have probably the final rendition of the Super Boss 15-star event against Utis Kid with the highest damage teams that I have been using for this particular event. So, starting it off, we're going to take on Dex. That was the team. Those are the supports. Let's dive on in. Now, as mentioned in my previous Super Boss video, there's been some spicier stuff floating around, and these particular teams, I do want to give credit to Porky for this particular team, one of my Alliance members. He was the one that fine-tuned this, and then the second one is thanks to one of the homies named Pyro. He's an AF member, and he's a good little lad and terrific team builder. So thank you, boys, for the teams. They are fantastic, and I definitely want to show them in action here today. Starting off against Dex, we are using a combination of the new Gear 5 from Film Red and a Friend Captain Gear 5 6+. Now, people have been trying to like flip these around and do fun stuff there, but you do really want to use your own Gear 5 from Film Red, so that way you can use the Momo support to get around the resilience and get around the annoying interrupt on the final stage where Tandem, Wano, and Recovery become a 1.5 times multiplier. Luffy's a captain's great. He gets around the paralysis. He's your attack booster because there's an Intimidate for 2 turns. You can actually get his special back, and if you have him Limit Break expanded, the idea of him is to actually increase your attack boost for this team. We have Sanji to do the captain swap. He's a great swap for Kobe. So if you guys don't have Kobe, Sanji just basically does it. Honestly, he does a little bit better for this fight. He becomes your captain. He gives you chain boundary. He gives you a chain boost with his superclass. And with his superclass and with the Gear 5 Film Red superclass, your Friend Captain Gear 5 is getting a super type and a double superclass, which is absolutely huge. Robin gives you the double conditional. Zora is giving you a condition and an attack boost. Right before I use the Gear 5 Plus special, ideally, that's where you'd want to use the Strength Luffy once again, so that way you can increase the attack boost before using the increased attack boost of Gear 5 Friend Captain. But basically, the Gear 5 Friend Captain gives you increased damage taken. He gives you the Orb buff for this particular team, and his Rush mechanic is so damn powerful. The idea, though, you want to make sure that you actually use Sanji to go into Captain, so that way you get the free Spirit buff, and then you stay as Captain because it's a 5.75 with the Tandem Orb mechanic. Queen is the final piece of this puzzle. Queen, honestly, has become like one of my favorite units. Using him under Gear 5 6+ is an absolute godsend because he gives you a conditional boost and he gives you color affinity, which is insane. But on this team, he also removes the threshold, which is just ridiculous, to be completely honest with you. As you guys will see there, once we use the Super Tandem of Zoro, we do need level 5 Super Tandem. We can go into the rush of our Friend Captain Gear 5 at level 150, level 5, doing basically all the damage for this particular team. We have a level 12 Germa ship too, so we're getting a huge ship buff. And we ended off with 260 billion damage. There it is right there. Very, very nice stuff. This is with no Alliance boost as well. Very, very powerful. Gear 5 6+ just showing his worth with the Rainbow team. And when you can do stuff like this, it's really, really nice because not only now I could technically just run 4 runs and take down the Super Boss, but if you build up the multiplier with your Alliance members, this number is going to get increased by 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, all the way up to 1.5, where you'd be looking at hitting around 390 billion. Now, I do understand this does take a level 12 ship. This does take a level 5 Friend Captain and level 5 Zoro, but look, that's why these characters are so desired, and when they come around, we say go for them because they are so damn powerful to bolster your accounts. Hopefully, if you guys can build the team, hopefully it helps you guys out as well. But once again, huge shout out to my homie Porky for the team. Very well done, my friend. Let's move on to the next fight. And on to Ints now. This one is a huge shout out to Pyro. He actually developed his team like straight away off the bat. And I did give it criticism because I thought double Gear 5 would just work better. But obviously with that interrupt for the damage threshold, or damage limiter, sorry, just continuously coming back, made it a little bit more challenging. But that's the team. Those are the supports. Let's dive on in. Now, we are using Shanks as our captain. And if you have the new Bardo support, just run the new Bardo support on Robin instead. That way you can actually get the extra resistance for the second turn. We are going to take 2 turns here, but with the combination of Gear 5 and Shanks, we can get around Special Reverse and we can get around Despair. It works exceptionally well, especially on stage 2, when you can just pass the turn, you get Super Block Orbs, and you get Special Reverse. Shanks, Luffy, with the Super X, and the captain of Shanks basically just take care of this. It's super easy, it's super nice, and you don't even have to worry about all the shenanigans that are coming. There's an orb barrier for tandem orb, I believe. There's 5 turns of threshold. It's just a very, very annoying stage to deal with. So if you just pass the turn, you get the super block orbs, you get the special reverse, and you just sort of say, wham bam, thank you ma'am. Now, there is another team that is going around that does a little bit more damage than this. My homie Heartless is actually using it. It actually does a little, well, probably a little bit more substantial amount. If you use Gear 5 as your captain and Shanks as a friend captain, and then replace Nami with Zoro, you can actually do a little bit more damage. But this was the most that I could actually output, and honestly, it was doing absolute bits. It has been doing absolute bits, and it actually works very, very nicely. On the final stage, we have those super block orbs. Because the enemy enrages, the Lion Song Zoro support actually triggers. Ideally, though, if you just use the Bardo support on Robin, that will actually trigger too. There's actually a Dex Bardo. He actually works too, but I thought this Lion Song Zoro was probably a little bit more accessible for people, as that Bardo support has never come back. I am using the Brook support just to tank more damage because you are taking a shot here. Now, as you can see, it's still around 13k. I don't know if that scales or not, but I thought, hey, you can double up with damage reduction and threshold, so why the hell not? Use Shanks on the first turn, then use Robin. That way you get 3 turns of a conditional against defense down. Shanks sets defense to 0 for 2 turns. He gives you 2 turns of an orb buff. Then you can use the attack boost of versus Yamato, get the damage reduction buff, get base stats from Nami, remove the Super EX orbs with Luffy, and then you can rotate them all into recovery and tandem with the super class of Shanks, giving you the tap timing as well to 0.6 for free spirit characters and cerebrals. And then you can swap Nami into captain with Kobe, so you can get access to her super tandem. And then you can also use the Shanks special once again. With Shanks and his ability to get 3 turns of cooldown every time a free spirit or cerebral character uses a special, you can use him on the first turn, you can get him back once again. You don't need him with Marek Expander, and it actually works really, really well. He'll increase your orb buff. He'll also give you a chain multiplicative buff. Yamato gives you the damage reduction for the 1.6 damage reduction buff as well. And with this team, like, you just have so much going for you. It's quite ridiculous, actually. We have the super tandem of Nami, the best super tandem in the game. Plus, she's hitting with type advantage, which is great. Shanks hits with type advantage and a 2 times boosted stats. And then with Gear 5, 6 Plus also being boosted, he goes absolutely ballistic as well with his rush ability, clocking out at a whopping 303 billion damage. So all in all, this particular super boss wasn't too bad. The damage numbers, they're pretty on par with what we're expecting to see. Remember, this is one of those really tricky ones. When anniversary characters come around, the super bosses tend to be a lot more challenging than the anniversary ones or the New Year's one or even those ones in between. But if you didn't have Shanks, if you didn't have Luffy, it was a little bit of a rough time. However, for what we kind of expect in Super Boss, this is kind of the way that it goes. And doing over 300 billion damage and 260 billion damage for the next one, I was pretty content with the team building and the way that we come up with these teams. So once again, huge shout out to Pyro. Once again, huge shout out to my homie Porky. Big love to you boys. Great team building as always. And hopefully you guys did really, really well in the Super Boss. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure you go down that bell like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, whether you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.